Hello, this is Del Denny of TBC Action Coach of Indiana, and I want to welcome you to the Indiana Business Spotlight Series. The purpose of this series is to help promote local Indiana business owners, because when small businesses succeed, well, we all succeed. And today I have a special guest who actually helps small business owners well, and his name is Oscar Perez. Oscar, welcome.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Oscar, tell us a little bit about your background and what you do.
So currently I work with Comcast Business. I've been in the telecommunications, customer-facing sales since basically 2009, when I started with AT&T, and then was there for many years. Ended up being a manager. 2016, I actually was let go from the company, which at that time was devastating, but really turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened. It gave me the opportunity to, move away from retail locations, retail shops, and move into working directly with customers via Spectrum, and now with Comcast. So now I work directly with business owners and even some corporations that have needs of my services.
Very nice. So let's say, you're with Comcast, you help small businesses. If you had a 60-second commercial to say what you do and how you help, what would you say?
What would I say? Let me see. I have a quick one here. From new business locations to existing businesses unhappy with their current providers, I can offer a variety of internet and phone solutions to make sure that you as the customers taken care of, from ranging from a standard starter internet connection for small mom and pops to dedicated fiber with service level agreements for big enterprises. Now, most people don't know what service level agreements even are, but it allows us to guarantee uptime of a 99.99. It's the 4 nines of my business to make sure you are completely taken care of and never have any outages. And void products as well, so that you can have a continued work even for when you're out of office, or when services go down, you can still keep receiving your phone calls and keep your business going.
Nice. All right. So in your own words, what was that?
My own words, what that means is I can help any size business, big or small. And then when it comes to phone service, what I mean by that is that we offer just standard fax, standard phone lines to as big as, any size really of hosted phone solution, so that it was actually very widely used during COVID, because everyone had to do so much work from home. The hosted phone solution, you don't necessarily have to have the old cable, your phone lines and things like that. It allows you to have your work phone in the office, and it sounds like call forwarding, but it's not. Your cell phone can become your work phone. People can call you in and they dial your work number. You can dial out and it becomes your work number. So they've never had any idea about how many companies actually weren't in their office, because to the customer facing, it looked like standard business practice. But it helped a lot of businesses be able to move away from the at office attitude during COVID, and allowed a lot of remote work to continue as if nothing had changed.
That's beautiful. I know internet was vital during the pandemic. We all needed that as business owners.
Internet is vital, and if I may say, Comcast was at some points at capacity, and I've got to say I've been very impressed with my company, because not only did we meet that capacity, it actually pushed us to put bigger investments into our network, to make sure that even at those peak times, like nobody ever really went down.
Good. So let's talk about your target customer. We always ask business owners, who is your target audience, target customer? Oscar, for you, obviously you work with business owners. So who is your target audience? Is it small businesses, large businesses? Tell us.
Really, it's both. My target audience is, it's the most vague answer you can get. It's any business that has a need for internet services, and even, any use of a phone. I've helped someone, put a line in just for an elevator. Hey, that can help you with that. And then I've helped Some people put in 100, we call them seats, 100 seats hosted voice solutions for their businesses. But I mean, my favorite customers to work with are new customer or new businesses that are opening up. Um, I actually just worked with a salon recently who was basically telling me like, I don't know what I need. And I like being able to say, okay, this is what I have seen in your retail space or in your business space, and this is why they do it. So being able to explain to them, why someone else or what someone else has done to get their kind of cog and turning and saying, oh, okay, that's what they're using it. Yeah, we could do the same thing. So yeah, new businesses are great, but don't get me wrong, existing businesses need just as much help. I mean, some customers have been with their current provider for years and never made a change because they've just had them. Things have been okay. Um, but just because things are okay doesn't mean they're working properly, is what I tell people.
Very good. So speaking of working properly and things going crazy sometimes, COVID hit last year, we went into this pandemic. Um, what what did you see the impact of COVID and the pandemic on your business? I know everyone leaned on the internet, so tell us a little bit about that.
So the first month, so we were sent home the last week of March. I remember us, closing out our month, and then the next day it was like, don't come to the office. Like, okay. And that first month, we all kind of sat around, honestly, twiddling our thumbs because we had no idea what was going on. I remember the expectation was, hey guys, we'll be back in the office in 2 weeks. No big deal. Big deal. We didn't even start talking about, going back to the office till a couple months ago in an official capacity. And the biggest impact was I'm actually a outside like sales field person. Like I am going to your businesses, talking to you, meeting you, things like that. So the biggest impact was we all had to adapt to Zoom and Teams meetings and all over the phone. Whereas before we used to be able to, just pop in, say hi. You could ask us questions, things like that. And maybe schedule an appointment to come back a different day. So the biggest impact was getting over that initial hump of everyone's fear of what's happening, and then getting them, to the point where they're comfortable talking to us on the phone and recognizing like, hey, I have a 317 number because I'm local, not because I'm just some random guy calling you, just to, uh, really they thought I was ripping them off at some point. There was people that were like, who are you? Why? No, Comcast has a 1-800 number. I'm like, right, no, I have a 317 number because I'm local. I live here. I'm like, I live in Lawrence. I actually know that I'm like 5 miles away from you in some cases. So that was the biggest hurdle, is just getting customers to become comfortable with us over the phone and allowing us to do our job when we got back to working normally. And adapting to just, this is not the new norm, but it's a new way of us doing work, because I think even in the future we won't be 100% back in the field. I think at this point most businesses are starting to see like, hey, there are some benefits to working from home as well. Yeah.
Very, very true. Now, they say one of my favorite quotes is smart people learn from their own mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others, right?
Hmm.
Um, in your experience, you work with a lot of business owners setting up their internet. Where are some mistakes that business owners go wrong at with their internet needs, their communication needs, and how can business owners that are watching this video say, okay, I didn't think of that. That would be a good thing I can implement.
I think the biggest issue is that business owners underestimate their needs. They One of the most regular things I hear, working in this line of work is, oh, I don't need that fast of a speed at work. I have that at home. I have something better at home. And my question to them is like, okay, you live in your house, you run your business to be able to afford that house. Why wouldn't you have something equal or better at your business, which is your generation of income, to help you make sure that you never have any issues or any, not even issues, but just be able to overcome anything that might come your way in regards to connectivity, scalability, expansions down the road. So the biggest problem I see is that they correlate what they have at home and think, oh, that's great for home because I'm there so long. Well, if you think about it, when I was working in a retail location, I was there 8 to 12 hours sometimes. So they spend just as much time at work as they do at home. So my biggest thing is stop underestimating your needs at work, and really just allow us to tell you why you don't want to start with the slowest service just because it's the least expensive. Um, I will gladly sell you the slowest service because I know you're going to call me in a couple months and say, "Hey, yeah, we've scaled up or we've gotten a lot busier, and now we need to move up to this." Oh, I know. That's why I was telling you. You want to make your home as equal as your job. It's more important actually because that is your income that has your home.
Very true. Now, Oscar, where do we find you at? Where, if we need help with our internet needs, where do we go to?
I can actually send you a link for. I have a direct page through Comcast that has my email, my phone number. It has an office phone number, but really just call me on my mobile. I mean, you can call me directly anytime, 317-420-5575. Monday through Friday. I say 8 to 5, but let's be honest, I'm usually there a little bit later. If I see a phone call, I'll answer it. I don't mind. My wife has come to terms with that is my business. People need me at times where sometimes it's not the best for us, but it keeps me busy, and I like that.
All right, very good. And I'll add a link in the notes to the video so people
Thank
can
you.
click on that. So last question here. Um, Oscar, what inspires you the most today?
So this question is an interesting question, and I really had to think about it. And truth be told, entrepreneurs inspired me the most today. At one point in my life, I had business ideas for things that I wanted to do as well. But I mean, for me, especially this year, I've still talked to people who are opening up new businesses or who expanded their businesses, who aren't big corporations or things like that. They're mom and pops, but they had an idea and they said, "Hey, we want to take it off." So the people that during this crazy last year continue to persevere and not give up on their dreams. I mean, that's the people that I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Like that, I've got some friends who decided to do car detailing during COVID, which you'd think would be the craziest idea ever. So, but they adapted it to become, hey, we'll go to you, we'll stay outside, and we'll do all the work, and you pay us virtually. So there was very little contact, and it's actually doing very well for them, which I was shocked because my first thought was, how are you going to do that with there's contact with people, and people are so scared right now. So yeah, entrepreneurs, especially this last year, have really blown my mind what they've been able to come up with, even during one of the worst years for any sort of human interaction that I've ever experienced.
Yeah, very good. That's awesome. Yeah, entrepreneurs can be they know when to pivot, and they get
Mhm.
innovative. So I'm with you on that. Well, Oscar, thank you so much for coming on our show. We appreciate it. For those that need a little help with their internet needs, we'll put some notes in or some links in the show notes. But Oscar, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.